Good morning to everyone joining us here at TAFE New South Wales Tighes Hill campus and to those tuning in online. We're delighted to welcome you to the 2025 Launch Your Career in Renewable Energy Webinar, proudly hosted by the Department of Education and TAFE New South Wales. Today's session is designed to empower students with the knowledge, inspiration and connections to pursue a future in Australia's rapidly growing renewable energy sector. Whether you're exploring your career options or ready to take the next step, you'll gain practical insights and hear firsthand from industry leaders, educational partners and young professionals working in this sector. Throughout this program, you'll hear messages from Minister Wan, the Minister of Skills, TAFE and Tertiary Education, the New South Wales Department of Education representative, TAFE New South Wales representative and panellists from across the renewable energy industry. For our online participants, we encourage you to take part in the live Q&A and complete the end of webinar survey. Your feedback is vital. It helps us improve future events, tailor programs to our interests and ensure we're supporting your career journey in the most effective way. Plus, it's your opportunity to share what has inspired you, ask follow-up questions and let us know what you'd like to see next. Let's get started as we explore new pathways and possibilities for launching your career in the renewable energy. We acknowledge the Awabakal people as the traditional custodians of the land on which Tighes Hill stands. We pay our respects to elders, past and present, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples joining us today. We also recognise the traditional owners of many lands. Our participants are joining from across Australia. We honour our deep connection to country, culture and community and acknowledge their sovereignty was never ceded. Let this gathering take place in the spirit of respect, learning and collaboration. We're pleased to now share a message from the Honourable Steve Wan, New South Wales Minister for Skills, TAFE and Tertiary Education. Minister Wan has a long-standing commitment to strengthening skills development and supporting students across TAFE New South Wales. In this pre-recorded message, we reflect on the importance of the renewable energy sector, its role in shaping our future workforce and the opportunities available to young Australians.
Hi everyone, Steve Wan here, Minister for Skills, TAFE and Tertiary Education. I'm pleased to welcome you all to the Launch Your Career in Renewable Energy. This is an incredibly exciting time in your lives, and events like these are here to help you create the future you want for yourselves and for our country. Renewable energy is at the heart of Australia's shift from fossil fuels to cleaner, more sustainable power, and a key part of our journey to net zero by 2050. That transition will unlock new careers, skills and opportunities for people like you. Clean energy jobs in Australia are projected to more than triple by 2050, with more than 100,000 new expected across areas like solar installation, wind farm operations, battery storage and smart energy systems. If you're in years 9 to 12 and starting to think about life after school, this sector offers real opportunity. Not just in trades and engineering, renewable energy careers span design, data, digital systems, logistics, communications, safety and project management. Whatever your interests or strengths, there's likely to be a pathway for you. Students attending this event in person will be among the first in New South Wales to explore the TAFE New South Wales Hybrid Renewable Energy Training Truck, a mobile classroom bringing cutting-edge tech and hands-on learning directly to schools. Don't worry if you're joining us online, you'll have an opportunity to visit the truck as it visits schools all over New South Wales. The New South Wales Government is proud to support future-focused programs like this because you all deserve to build a life and a career that you want, and industries need skilled, passionate people like you. So I encourage you to explore, ask questions and be inspired, because a career in renewable energy could take you further than you ever imagined. Enjoy today's session.
Let's take a moment now to hear directly from some of the inspiring individuals shaping Australia's future in renewable energy. This video showcases the diversity of roles, pathways and personal stories from students, apprentices and professionals who are already making an impact. It also highlights why the industry offers such a powerful purpose and opportunity.
I would recommend a career in the renewable energy industry as it gives you purpose. It's something to look forward to. You'll be working with cutting edge technologies, solving real world problems and learning new things every day. Not only that, your career opportunities are endless. So it offers quite a lot of stability, but also growth within the industry.
We are at a pinnacle point in the renewable energy transition, and it's something that's really exciting to be a part of. It is a once-in-a-lifetime transformation that we are going through in our energy system, and so being at the forefront of that is something that's quite unique in this landscape.
I decided to start in renewable energy because I wanted to be involved in an industry that could have a positive impact on communities and on Australia and the world.
I've always been passionate about the environment, and at school I did geography and all my teachers were really passionate about climate change and really pushing us to get into stuff like renewable energy, and they really made an impact on me.
One thing I love about the renewable energy industry is that it's constantly evolving. There's always new technologies coming out. Being a part of a large-scale solar project like this allows me to sleep good at night knowing I'm doing something good for the environment. Here at Stubbo Solar Project, our team here installs about 300 solar panels a day, and then including the whole farm, there's 930,000 panels.
Batteries are a critical part in making sure that our grid operates in a stable way when solar comes online or goes offline, and wind is very variable as well. So grid-scale battery energy storage systems are really great at making sure that customers can stay online in a very responsive way.
Hydro definitely has the wow factor. It's huge. You need lots of tunnels, dams, turbine halls. It's a very big operation. The most exciting aspect for me in the hydropower industry is where we get to work. We get to work in a really cool part of the world and get to work on some assets that have been around for about 75 years, and we're still operating and maintaining them to their full capacity.
One of the really interesting things about wind farms is that on active agricultural properties such as cattle or sheep or even cropping properties, they don't interrupt each other, so you can have landowners who host infrastructure like wind turbines and still run a very, very successful cattle or lamb or cropping business.
One thing I love about onshore wind is working in a team with great people. My role is so diverse that I get to work in the office, but then I also get to work in the field and interact with the local communities and see how our projects are benefiting the local community. Moving forwards, there's ways to use AI, also automation tools that help refine processes.
One of the most exciting things about being within the wind space is that it's somewhat a new industry for Australia. So that means you have people that have come from an agricultural background or they've come from a mining space, and they come together to just bring this diverse portfolio of expertise to a new opportunity that we're all together trying to work towards.
So on a regular day for work, I could be either in the office looking at site layout plans, designing our turbine layouts or our substation layouts. Another typical day for me could be working on our equipment on site, looking at our wind monitoring masts and making sure everything is up to date.
I work in the development and construction team. Every day is different, making sure that what's being built is up to a quality and standard which is safe to operate, as well as going around and fixing different issues as they crop up from a technical perspective.
I'm a site mechanical engineer. In the mechanical space, there's a lot of piping or structural steel. So any of the big structures that we've installed on site, that's all part of our team scope. Any problem that pops up, we find a way to solve it and make sure that we install it safely and to a high quality.
I'm an apprentice advisor for Clean Energy and Women of Trades. A typical day for me involves meeting with apprentices and trainees and providing tailored support through our mentoring program. And my goal is to obviously empower them through their apprenticeship and give them the best chance to succeed in the industry.
In the future, roles are pretty much going to have to double in technical and engineering roles. The skills are all very, very transferable, and so you're not really limited to one place and you'll never be pigeonholed. So the opportunities to work within Australia, work internationally, work in different sectors, there's a lot of doors open to people in renewables.
The industry is so varied that there's opportunities for everyone to be involved. There are multiple pathways to be involved in the renewable energy industry. University is one, but opportunities are also very much available at TAFE.
Keep curious. There's definitely lots of resources online of different ways you can look at how you can implement renewable energy in small projects that you can do yourself.
You have to be quite resilient as a person. These projects are very long term, so they take quite a number of years to come to fruition. And so you've got to be able to move at pace, but also look at the larger picture. We need to strategize, but in the day-to-day, it can be quite fast-paced as well.
The most exciting part about the renewable energy industry is being part of an industry that's shaping the future of the country. We're continuously developing technologies and policies that will continue to shape the future for the next decades to come.
What a compelling insight into the passion, innovation and teamwork driving Australia's renewable energy future. From solar and wind to hydro and battery storage. It's clear there's a place in the industry for anyone with curiosity and commitment and a powerful chance to help shape the world we live in. Now it's time to hear directly from our industry experts in panel one. This panel brings together a dynamic group of leaders from across the renewable energy sector, from project planning and policy to community sustainability and regulatory oversight. Their insights and experiences will help illuminate the diverse career pathways and opportunities in renewable energy. Okay, we have with us today LyC Cratch, Sarah Guilfoyle and also Tiff Clark. LyC.
Good morning everyone. My name is LyC and I work at City of Newcastle and I'm the Climate Change and Sustainability Program Lead.
Good morning to everybody who's here in the room today and everybody who's dialing in from online. My name is Sarah Guilfoyle and I am the Head of Stakeholder Relations for Voyager Renewables.
G'day everyone, my name's Tiff Clark and I'm the Manager of the Early Careers area at the Australian Energy Market Operator.
Thank you. I'm going to start with you today, LyC. Got a couple of questions for you. LyC, what does your role involve and how does it connect to solar and battery projects?
Yeah, great question, Nick. So I work at City of Newcastle, which is a local council. And you might think of us as the people that collect your bins every week or fix your pothole in your street. But we do so much more than roads, rates and rubbish. I would like to add another R to that equation, renewables. So I work in the climate change and sustainability team, and one of our roles is to support our community to transition to renewable energy. And the reason for this is because in 2019, our elected councillors declared a climate emergency and made a commitment to the Paris Agreement. And following that, they decided to implement two really important targets, that we would be net zero by 2030 as a council organisation, and also strive to achieve net zero emissions by 2040 for the wider community. And we've made a lot of progress thanks to renewables in achieving those targets. For example, we were the first local council in New South Wales to be 100% renewable. And part of that was thanks to a 5 megawatt solar farm that we built right here in Newcastle. We also joined what's called a power purchasing agreement, where we purchase electricity energy from a wind farm in New South Wales. We also install solar and batteries on our council sites, and currently we have 5 electric vehicles, which is batteries on wheels. So all of these great initiatives are helping to us achieve those targets. And so far, in terms of our emissions as an organisation, these initiatives have cut our emissions by 69%. So we're making great progress there thanks to solar and batteries and wind as well. And then we're doing a lot in the community space to support residents and businesses, schools and community groups to make the shift to renewable energy as well through things like programs, grants and incentives and education as well.
What a fantastic insight. I'm going to follow that up with a further question. What can students do in their own schools and communities to support sustainability?
Sure, so I actually had a school ask me about this last week, so what should they do? And what I said to them is, well, you can't cut what you don't count. So a great place to start is by looking at your school ecosystem and understanding where your emissions are coming from. And if it turns out that they're coming from electricity, you might want to do similar to what City of Newcastle has done and look for 100% renewable electricity, upgrading to energy efficient LEDs or installing solar. Or if you've got a gas hot water system, you might want to look at transitioning that over to an energy efficient electric heat pump. That's called electrification. If it's transport, you might look at some of the great models we're seeing around the country, like school cycling buses or installing EV chargers for teachers. And there's also some great things happening locally here in Newcastle, which I love. A lot of schools are becoming carbon sinks. So they're actually building tiny forests in their school playgrounds, which is great for biodiversity, but it's also drawing down carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and storing those in plants. And that's called carbon sequestration, which I think is just beautiful. But one of the best things we can do as individuals is pursue a career in sustainability. And just for example, in our team, we have an engineer, we have an electrician, we've got an economist, an architect, and my background's in environmental science, but also in marketing. So whatever you choose to study, you can make that a climate job. And I promise if you do, you will look forward to coming to work on Mondays.
Wow, can you sign me up today? That's excellent. Okay, I'm going to jump to you, Sarah. Okay, Sarah, your job involves working with lots of different people. What does stakeholder relations mean?
It's a bit of an enigma, that one. It's a very broad brush, but in its simplest form, stakeholder relations means building relationships and managing the risks and capitalising on opportunities with anybody that has a stake in your business, in your industry, and it's really broad. On any given day, my job looks like I could be dealing or meeting with a landholder who's out in outback Western Queensland or Western New South Wales. I could be having lunch with the Federal Minister for Climate Change, Minister Chris Bowen, and everybody in between. We have a significant number of stakeholders. Community is a massive part of that, but it's also much broader in terms of everyone from, in my job, it's dealing with government, dealing with media, that didn't sound very nice, did it? Engaging with government, engaging with media, engaging with community, supply chain, everyone who has a vested interest in the fantastic industry that is renewables.
And further to that, what's one project you've worked on and that you're proud of?
Oh, I love all of my children, I have to say. It's hard to differentiate. Voyager Renewables, we're backed by Copenhagen Infrastructure Partners, which is the largest greenfields renewable energy investor in the world. We are about 18 months old on the ground, but we only officially launched at the end of last year. I'm really proud of the fact that we have, out of everywhere in Australia, we have set up our national headquarters right here in Newcastle. The majority of our team is in Newcastle, and they were all hired from Newcastle. We sit here at the heart of the NEM. We consider Newcastle and the Hunter to be the gateway to the energy transition in Australia, and we want for nothing here. Newcastle is where it's at. If you're not here, where are you, and what are you doing? We have 3 public projects that are in the outward realm, but on any given day we are assessing, originating, developing up a pipeline of anywhere between 10 and 15 projects. So that's across wind, solar and battery, and we have specific focus, and it changes strategically every day. So I'm really proud of the fact that we're backed by CIP, we're right here in the regions. We don't have any projects technically that are in development or built just yet. So what I'm proud of is the fact that we are a little late to the party, but as I say, we'll be the last ones on the dance floor. We are extraordinarily ambitious. We are backed by absolute clout coming in from Copenhagen, and I'm really proud of our pipeline of projects, which is essentially everywhere in Australia except for Northern Territory and Tasmania at this stage. So I think what I'd like to say to everybody who is online today and in the room is there is so much opportunity. You don't have to be in the big centres, you can be anywhere. If you want a job in outback Western New South Wales, if you want a job in outback Western Queensland, you want to go rural and regional, or if you want to stay in beautiful downtown Newcastle, there is absolutely something for you. And as you said earlier, the capacity and growth and opportunity within renewables is everything from stakeholder relations to technical to development manager to GIS. The opportunities are absolutely endless, and your skills are transferable across the board.
That's excellent. And just further to that, what skills are important for your roles? And how can students start building them for a successful career in the renewable energy industry?
I think the renewable energy industry is ready for whatever skill you have. So if you're a go-getter and you just absolutely want to have a crack and you want the chance to have a seat at the table of what is one of the biggest transformations in Australia's history, then we will find a spot for you. I would say, in my role in particular, in stakeholder relations, I would say, yeah, if you're a people person, you know, we do get clouded into the, oh yeah, you seem like a bit of an extrovert and you know how to talk to people. It's so much more than that. I have an absolutely critical strategic role in identifying risk, in managing risk in relationships, and I like to see the stakeholder and comms vessel as being protecting the blind side of the rest of the team. I have my own work stream in the relationships I need to manage, but also if I do my job right, I clear the path for everybody to come behind. So I think if you've got a bit of a nose and a bit of an instinct for something's not quite right here, or I think there's something good going on over here. I think if you're a critical thinker, if you're a problem solver, if you're very, very comfortable with being very, very uncomfortable, then I would absolutely implore you to look at some sort of role in stakeholder relations management, because it's not an easy role. It's not all just coffees and lunches, and I've done 2 conferences in 2 weeks, and I've already seen people that I've seen at conferences in the last 2 weeks. It's so much more than that. So if that's fitting your bill, then please reach out to me on LinkedIn or grab me after this and we'll have a chat. Thanks.
Excellent. Thank you, Sarah. I'm going to move to you, Tiff. Last but not least. Tiff, the AEMO helps manage Australia's energy system. What does that mean in practice?
That is a fantastic question. So I'm going to ask the people in the room and the people online, who here has heard of AEMO? Did you want to stick your hand up? Yep. I'm not seeing many hands go up in the room, and hopefully not too many online. That's a good thing. We feel we've done our job really, really well, if you haven't heard of us. And here's the reason. AEMO manages the security, reliability and the market of the Australian energy grid. So you've met lots of wonderful people here, you're going to meet so many wonderful people more. There's lots of players in the energy sector, and so we're one of the bodies that sit on the overarching top. Really, in reality, what we do, I'm going to give you a bit of an analogy that you might understand. An air traffic control room. So you know how they tell the planes, take off, land, don't come to Sydney, it's too stormy, you've got to divert to Canberra, and that's very frustrating when that happens, by the way. But they're making sure the airport and the planes can operate safely and the airways operate safely. AEMO does that for the energy sector. So we have certain powers under legislation where we can go, oh, it's really, really hot here in Newcastle, and unfortunately you're not getting enough supply of energy. All right, Queensland, send it down and help them out. So we play that role. The other important thing that we do is we manage what's called the market. So the market in the energy sector operates very much like a stock exchange market, lots of bidding, lots of settling, and we make sure that market settles for the lowest possible price. So really, at the end of the day, we make sure that when you go home and you want to charge your phone, turn your lights on, that happens for you at the cheapest possible price so your parents don't keep freaking out about the energy prices. So that's the role of AEMO.
Excellent. And just on that, how do you make it sure with the energy transition is fair, transparent and well planned?
That's a very deep question, a very deep question. So, as I mentioned, there's a lot of players in the Australian energy sector, a lot of technologies, and that's wonderful about the renewable sector, that we're not relying on one particular technology to serve our needs. So our responsibility is to, one, make sure that the grid can handle whatever the sources are coming from, but also advise on where best places are to build. So you've heard about renewable energy zones, or you will hear about renewable energy zones. The Hunter region is one of those wonderful places. So we give a lot of advice there. We also try and make data transparent. So if companies are wanting to build in a particular location, that it is profitable and viable and will service the community.
Excellent, thank you. And the last question for you, what would you say to students who are interested in the big picture of energy systems and energy transitions?
Great question. So one of the things to note is that you do not need to want to go into electrical engineering or trades necessarily to have a wonderful career in the energy sector. We need people with diverse backgrounds. So you're sitting up here with 3 people from 3 very different careers. My background is industrial law, and they need people like me in the sector. One of our biggest departments at AEMO is the digital department. And within there, we've got a massive cyber security team there who are looking at how they make sure the grid's resilient, preventing attacks. I've got a graduate at the moment in my team that gets to simulate some attacks on our grid, so we get prepared for that. So no matter if you love math or you love speaking in public or you love coding, I can guarantee you there is a job for you in the energy sector and in the regions where you want to live as well. So you don't have to leave home to go to the big smoke in order to have a really interesting career that ultimately is impactful for society, because without the energy transition, we're not going to hit our climate change targets. Without the energy transition, we're not going to have enough energy to be able to keep our economy going. So I get to go home every day going, yeah, I did that. And my daughter turning around saying, Mum, there's a blackout, it's your fault. I'm like, okay, I'm doing my best, I'm doing my best. So having that sort of career where you're connected to the purpose, I think is the best advice that I can give you all, is find something you're passionate about and then find a job connected to that. And I couldn't think of anything better than the energy sector.
That's excellent. Thank you, Tiff. What a fantastic perspective from 3 diverse individuals in 3 diverse sort of different areas of the renewable industry. Thank you, panel 1. Really appreciate it. Before we move into our second panel, we'd like to share a short video introducing the TAFE New South Wales Renewable Energy Micro Skill. This flexible, bite-sized training is designed to help you build foundational knowledge and explore opportunities in the renewable energy sector. Whether you're reskilling, exploring options, or ready to start your journey, the micro skill offers a practical way to take the next step. With panel 1 and the TAFE New South Wales Renewable Energy Micro Skill video setting the scene, we now turn to panel 2, featuring professionals who are driving innovation, building future workforces and developing renewable energy solutions in real-world contexts. Together they'll explore how emerging technologies, graduate opportunities and skills-based pathways like the microskill program are helping to prepare new talent for Australia's energy transition. Panel 2 consists of Rebecca, Stuart, Nick and also Megan. I'm going to jump to you first, Rebecca.
Good morning, everyone.
Would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Yes, so my name is Rebecca Riggs and I am a project developer at LyC Energy, who is a renewable energy developer and operator.
Excellent. I'm going to jump to you, Stuart.
Thank you. Hi everyone, I'm Stuart Simpson. I'm an Innovation Senior Analyst at Essential Energy.
Thank you. Nick?
Hi, I'm Nick Monk. I'm a graduate engineer at Origin Energy.
And finally, Megan.
Hi, I'm Megan and I'm an apprentice advisor with Apprenticeship Support Australia.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to jump straight into it, Rebecca. I'm going to start with you, if you're ready. Okay, Rebecca, what inspired your transition into the renewable energy industry and what motivated your move into project development?
Yeah, great question. So